Hello everyone, welcome to Biosanskati. Today I can teach you to bewitch the mind and its neurosciences. I can tell you how to butter fame, prove glory and even put a stopper in death. Just kidding guys, today we will learn about classical conditioning, but do let me know in the comment section which movie dialogue was it and the movie name. I will be waiting for your reply, okay? Now let's talk about classical conditioning theory. Ivan Pavlov was the one who gave the theory and almost by accident found classical conditioning. He initially intended to research how salivation affects indigestion. When he gave meat to dogs, he measured how much saliva they produce. After doing the experiment for a few days, Ivan noted that the dog in his lab began to salivate when the lab assistant entered the room carrying the meat dish before the meat was given to dogs to eat. This attracted Ivan's interest and he continued the investigation with the other trials. For instance, he rang a bell before giving food to his dog. The dog began to salivate as soon as he heard the bell ring. Okay, after a number of times just before being fed. To put it more simply, the dogs have been trained to salivate in response to a novel stimuli, the bell that would not usually. I'm sorry for the sound. Actually, I can't control the public. So let's continue. To put it more simply, the dogs has been trained to salivate in response to a novel stimuli. The stimuli is the bell that would not usually do so. The bell has become connected to food in the dog mind. His experiment was based on salivary reflex. This is the point which you have to remember, that it was a salivary reflex. Okay, this is Ivan Pavlov. Now there are 5 components of a classical conditioning. Number 1 is NS, which means neutral stimulus. Number 2, CS, conditional stimulus. Number 3, CR, conditional response. Number 4, UC as unconditional stimulus. Number 5, UCR, unconditional response. All these will be cleared by the example, what are they and how they stimulate different response. These are the properties of a classical conditioning. Number 1 is specific. A specific conditional response to a learning has a more or less specific stimulus. If a conditional response is created with a specific sound, so another one will not work. Number 2 is a use and disuse. When a conditional response has not been utilized for several months, it degrades due to disuse. And the same thing happens when the conditional stimulus bell ringing is done repeatedly without the unconditional stimulus, that is the meat. And the second one is the reward system. Reward system has 2 types, a positive reinforcement and a negative. It is a positive reinforcement, and second is negative reinforcement. Positive reinforcement refer to the stimulation that comes after receiving a reward, whereas negative reinforcement refer to the sensation that comes after receiving a penalty. So here we can conclude positive means they got the reward, and negative reinforcement means they get the penalty. Ivan used the positive one, which is the constructive. Now here are the example of a classical conditioning. This is the example of homework. When you give a reward on finishing the homework, which motivate children to do their work so they can get their treat as soon as they finish the homework. So here are the unconditional stimulus is the kid and how they feel when they finish the homework. Miserable or good is the unconditional response, and homework is the conditional stimulus, and they like it or dislike it is the conditional response. You know or heard about PTSD, sorry. Yes, PSD is the example of a classical conditioning. Patients who were either victims or observers to the event reported having severe anxiety is the unconditional response. Cues such as a location, object, or a sound may be connected to it. When a trigger like this cue is present, which is conditional stimulus, it may cause patient to have nightmares and disturbing ideas. Disturbing idea is here the conditional response. A challenging experience such as a neutral or a natural disaster or a violent crime can cause post-traumatic stress disorder, which means PTSD, a condition related to a medical health or a mental health. So here is the trauma event is the unconditional stimulus, and the fear is the unconditional response, and Q is here the conditional stimulus, and disturbing idea is the conditional response. Uh, this is the example of food. When you finish your dancing class with your mother, and your mother treats you pizza that motivate the kid so that he can learn dancing, and for that she got the reward. So here is the time spending with the mother is the unconditional stimulus, and what did they feel about it is the unconditional response. Craving for a pizza is the conditional response, and after a dancing class is the conditional stimulus. I'm sure you know this creature. He or she lives in many households. If lizard got hit somewhere around them, not on their body, uh, once, then from now onwards, lizard would avoid or run away every time if you pose like you will hit them or you fake it. Ta-da! You got the temporary solution. But you have to do it regular when you see them, otherwise they will crawl here and there. I repeat, you do not need to hit them directly, but close to them will also work. So here are the importance. This is the advantage of a unconditional. Sorry, this is the example of a classical conditioning, and I think I messed up. So let's start. So this is the advantage of the classical conditioning, and this is the disadvantage of a classical conditioning. Number one is the help to modify destructive behavior. Number second, it can help you to make good habits. And number third is it can cure your phobia. And disadvantage is the it can vary, it has varying result, and many variation that produce multiple outcomes. It is a double-edged sword. It is not a permanent, it is a temporary. So after all the techniques will be performed on living beings, and the actual reaction is still up to every living beings. If you use it for a good purpose, you can bring a smile on their face, but if you use it in a negative way, you will end up in a bad situation. That's what I mean by double-edged swords. Yes, it is a temporary because we need to put an effort or doing it regularly for a desired result. Okay, it would be great if we use for creating happy and healthy and safe life, not just for human but for animals. I think its main purpose is to stimulate better positive response, to get better result, like Ivan did, like Ivan performed experiment on dog. So it is great. We know how exactly it works, and you can see why the military dogs follow the commands of whosoever will be commander. If officer whistle certain rhythm, he would attack or chase them until he found them. So what I mean to say this, we indirectly follow the classical conditioning in our daily life. Like you have the dog, if you whistle, he will come to you, and you know this is the technique. So use it carefully and only for a good purpose. Using this knowledge, you can condition your loving pet so that happy memories to specific situation more likely to recreate those circumstances. That's all for today video. Thank you so much for watching my video till the end. I hope this will be helpful to you somehow. So please subscribe to my channel for more videos, and do like, comment and share it with your friends. I will be back soon with another interesting video. Till then, stay healthy, stay happy. Bye bye.